Or is it the self-doubt of facing what they got to face? Is it that going that close to the moment, knowing that you have to go study now, reminds you of what's in front of you, that the boogeyman is around the corner, the test, the moment. You know, when it's far away, it's easier to do it. But now when it's close, you don't want to be reminded that moment, what you feel, what you're worried about, what's important to you, you know, what means everything maybe to you, that it's that close. So nature lets you kind of, you know, disconnect a little bit and avoid. Because by avoiding, now it's saving you from feeling all those feelings that it doesn't want you to feel. It's saving you from that. It's keeping you from that. It's protecting you. Right then, you got to make a decision. No, I don't need to survive this. I need to win this. I need to deal with this. You make a conscious decision because you understand what's going on. I'll put it even simpler. You stay in the driver's seat with your hands on the wheel instead of going into the passenger seat. Because basically that's what I'm talking about. You want to be successful? Stay in the freaking driver's seat. All right? Don't go into the passenger seat. I know it's tempting to let go of that wheel and just watch. Just watch. I know it's tempting. But what are you going to watch? I'll tell you what you're going to watch. You're going to watch yourself crash into a wall. Win. Don't just survive. Yeah, you figured out by now. Surviving can get in the way. It's necessary for us to exist. But it can get in the way of winning. And the lines can get blurry. And it's up to us to understand the lines. When are we just surviving? When are we actually still locked in, committed to winning? We have to understand those lines. We gotta. If we don't understand them, we're doomed. We're doomed. Let's touch on the other part. I used the word earlier, simple word, pressure. When that pressure comes, it comes like a tidal wave. You know, it comes like a great fog that just cloudies everything. It can blind everything. It can just darken everything. Where the room just suddenly gets dark, right? You've been there. It can be the pressure as a parent dealing with I hate to go down there, but I'm here for everyone. This is for everyone. Dealing with a drug-addicted child. Well, it could be that. I hope to God that none of you are dealing with that. But I know the real world. And unfortunately, that's part sometimes of the real world. So whatever the pressure might be, whatever, when that comes, we have to understand, just like I explained this part, about the difference between actually winning and surviving. You have to understand what it is that's attacking you, what it is you're dealing with, what it is you have to defeat, what it is that brings danger to you. You know, they say when there's a disease, that there's a certain part of that disease that can kill you. That really, certain part of it. Well, what we're talking about here, this pressure, this being overcome by fear, by being overcome by doubt, being talked out of winning sometimes, that you're not as good as you thought you were or is ever going to be as good enough. That can be a virus. That can be a virus. It attacks you like a virus. It does. Gets into your body, it paralyzes you. We talked about it. You guys understand that. It takes away your breath, all the symptoms of a virus. It does. What part of the virus? We need an antibiotic, right? We need to understand how to fight this virus. That's what we're here for. So what part of this virus do we have to understand that does the most damage, the killing? There's basically two parts. There's a third that I'll bring in at the end. But there's two really parts that do all the damage. One is when this pressure comes, whatever it is you're dealing with, whether it's in a ring, whether it's in the ring of life. Life is a fight, right? We understand that, I hope. Right? We're all in it, right? Yeah. We are all in a fight. Just a matter of what are you fighting for. So whatever your fight is, whatever it is, when that pressure comes, when that moment comes, Well, the first part that's the most damaging is it makes you feel that whatever you're dealing with will last forever. Eternity. It's a lie. See, I wrote a book. I talked about that in my book, where I used a very famous fighter to illustrate this. A great fighter, a special fighter, and a special person, George Foreman. Big George Foreman, where the thing that made him great was what he learned in defeat to Muhammad Ali in Zaire many, many years ago. What he learned in defeat, to separate the truth from the lies. And that's what we're doing right here. We're going to separate the truth from the lies. When the pressure comes, when the moment comes, when the fear is at its utmost, when that happens, you think that it's forever. That this difficult moment is more than a moment. You know what it is? It's the blink of an eye. And in reality, in life, in life's really time clock, it's the blink of an eye. In my world, and I'm in the ring, right? In my world, it might be a 10-second, 20-second flurry of a guy getting after you. You survive that, the worst is over. You know what lasts forever? What you do in that moment. What you do in that moment. The choice you make in that moment. That's going to last forever. Forever. And if you make the wrong choice, well, I tell you where it's leading you to. To a prison called regret. Lock up. Lock up, baby. Where it's a solitary prison, a lonely prison. It's a hellhole. To be quite honest. You want to avoid that place. You do. So, understand. It's a moment. I don't care if it's on stage, if it's in a classroom, it's in a courtroom, it's in a boardroom. It's a moment. A moment. In reality. But it feels like eternity. That's a lie. That's a lie. So that's the first thing you got to understand. You know what's the second thing? You got to understand that the choice you make, what you do in that moment is no longer your choice. It becomes the opponent's choice. It becomes the situation's choice. The moment's choice. Whatever it is that you're dealing with, it becomes that choice. Not yours. Lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lies can kill us. Lies can destroy us. You know, I don't want to be corny here. I'm being just real. But truth will set you free. You know, that old saying, that old mantra. Truth is powerful. There's a power to truth. There's a weakness to lies. Whether it gets you today or gets you later on, it's going to get you if you let it. So, understand it's your choice. I don't care what it is. It's still your choice until it's not your choice. Until you say it's not your choice. Until you give up that choice. It's your choice. Till then. It's your choice. Till then. See, George Foreman, I'll finish it for you. I brought him up earlier. When he was fighting Ali, he was used to getting his way. Used to being a bully, whatever you want to call it. But used to getting his way. He didn't get his way. He didn't get his way that night. He had to depend on something other than power. He had to depend on something other than power, himself. And he didn't really believe, he didn't understand that really to the depth that he did afterwards. He really got to the point, Ali talking to him and everything else. Ali at one point said, we laughed, but it was in the ring, it was around the 7th round, maybe, I think he got stopped in the 8th or 9th, but it was in one of those rounds where after everything that Foreman had thrown, he was starting to feel a little tired. And Ali grabbed a hold of him and talked into his ear. And he said, "That all you got, George?" And Foreman talks about it freely now. He's great. And he said, "Yep, that's about all. That's about it." He gave up control of what was going to happen then, what he could do then. He felt that it was Ali's choice of what was going to happen at that moment from then on, not his anymore. He found out after 10 years of, I'll call it exorcism. Yeah. Chasing away the ghost that he had to live with alone. That's tough. That's tough. What did I tell you about that jail cell, that prison sentence of regret? Yeah, his sentence was 10 years. 10 years, but he came back. And he was better than ever. Older, not as strong, not as physical, but better. Because he was better here. He understood the truth from the lies. He understood it's always your choice. No matter what the freaking pressure is, no matter how it lies to you, it's always your choice what you do. How you behave. Not someone else's. That's an excuse. That's a weakness. That becomes convenient. But it ain't so convenient when they are opening that jail cell and telling you, go ahead in there. It's your new home. Regret. That is not so convenient. That's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. Understand those lies. Reject those lies. Throw them away. Get them out of here. You've yelled at other things in your life, haven't you? I bet you have. Get out of here. Right? Well, tell these lies. Get out of here. Get out of here. You're not welcome. I'm not going to allow you here. And I said there was a third thing, right? Here's the third. And this puts it all together. How you're feeling, the doubts, it's all there for a reason. I told you about nature. That's why I pretext this message with the nature part of the lesson first. That, the fear, all those are necessary to get you ready, to have you at your best. You just have to control it. You have to make it an ally, not an enemy. You have to understand it. Don't let it control you. Use it. Use the fear. Like my great mentor, Cus D'Amato, used to say, fear is like fire. If you use it, you control it, it heats for you, it warms your house, it cooks for you, it's everything. If you don't, it consumes you. It burns you down and everything around you down. That's what it is. So use it, understand it. Understand why it's there. And here's the third part. Understand, because we are all brothers and sisters, this is the one thing that we all do have in common, is this. That's in us, all of us. So understand that the way you're feeling, the inhibitions, the fear, the doubt, right? All of that, insecurity, right? The lackings of that you're good enough, whatever. Everything that you're feeling, he's feeling it. Yeah. He's feeling it too. He's human too. He didn't come in on some kind of flying saucer. He's feeling it too. He's feeling the same thing you're feeling. And he's doing what you're supposed to be doing. And maybe you are doing, you don't even know. You just know how you're feeling. Hiding it. Putting it aside. And doing the job at hand. Controlling it. Not showing it. Not showing it. Remember that. That's the final ingredient to this cake. This cake of victory. This cake of life. This cake of freedom. To be free. To be free from these things that can hold you back. That do hold you back. That do hold us back at times. Understand that. Feels the same way. Because you're both of the same race. The human race. You both bleed the same blood. Red. So yeah, it's a matter of who controls it better. Who understands it. You understand it now. You've been given that lesson. You've been given, the curtain's been pulled back on that part of the wizard, if you will, to see what the wizard really is if it's even a wizard, to see what is back there. What is the thing that has been getting in your way, has been controlling you, has been dictating to you, has been, commanding you, whatever. You pull the curtain back and you see what it is. You see what you're dealing with. And now you understand what it is, what it wasn't, what it isn't. It's not a monster. It's human. It's nature. It's what we all have to deal with. Let's deal with it now. Let's deal with it better. That's why I'm here. That's what the message is today.